This timeline is crazy, man.
I know. So many things coming at one time.
Not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants him.
Buckle up for a wild ride as a courtroom drama unfolds, and at the heart of it are the daughters of music mogul scene Diddy Combs. Delilah, Chance, and Jessie, his daughters, are reportedly at their breaking point, and their emotional turmoil is spilling into the public eye. Rumors suggest that these young women may be planning to file for emancipation, but what's truly happening behind closed doors? This intense drama is tied to the mysterious circumstances surrounding their late mother, Kim Porter, whose passing left a lasting impact on the family. Emotions are high, and the situation is rapidly evolving. What's really going on, and what will happen next?
Kim Porter, you know, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children,
Right.
has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Oh, no.
And this is all in a...
Diddy's daughters, once known for being the quieter, more private members of the family, are now making headlines. For years, Delilah, Chance, and Jessie stood by their father's side, attending glamorous events and sharing family moments on social media. But sources now claim that the trio is ready to sever ties and go their own way. With their father's name linked to one controversy after another, it's understandable that they might want to distance themselves. However, it's not just about the legal drama or media attention. At the heart of this situation is a deeper issue: the unresolved mystery surrounding Kim Porter's passing and the toxic family dynamics that allegedly followed. The emotional weight of these events seems to be pushing the young women toward a major decision.
It's like it was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro. Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying?
Imagine being one of Diddy's daughters, growing up amidst the constant chatter about your mother's life and untimely passing. Even if you're unsure of what to believe, the noise must take a toll. On top of that, there are shocking allegations against Diddy, including claims of controlling behavior and accusations of emotional and physical mistreatment. It's clear that the family's life is far from the perfect image often portrayed in the media. Allegedly, Diddy's treatment of Kim during their relationship was so turbulent it left lasting scars on their children, who witnessed it firsthand. One insider even claimed Kim confided in friends about fearing Diddy might harm her. Given all this, it's no surprise the daughters are reportedly seeking distance.
Do I think? Yeah. There's no, every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, you know, what makes him, you know, power. That's just the selfishness that make you be like.
Here's the twist. This isn't just about the past. It's about what's happening now. After Diddy's arrest and ongoing legal troubles, his family dynamics have shifted dramatically. Initially, his children rallied around him, showing support in court and on social media. However, in recent months, that united front has crumbled. During Diddy's most recent court appearance, only his sons, Justin and Christian, showed up, with his daughters nowhere to be seen. Previously, the family posted coordinated birthday messages and public displays of love, but insiders now claim those moments were staged, scripted attempts to garner sympathy. If that's true, it paints a heartbreaking picture of a family falling apart under the weight of controversy and unresolved tension.
Yesterday, on Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily so, I guess, right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind.
For Diddy's daughters, this public unraveling of their family seems to have been the breaking point. Rumors suggest they've been meeting with attorneys to explore the legal steps to emancipate themselves from their father's control. Can you blame them? Imagine being a teenager or young adult with your family's darkest secrets splashed all over the news. Sources close to the family say the daughters are deeply hurt by everything they've seen and heard, not just about their father's alleged actions, but also about how the family has been handled since Kim's passing. The emotional toll seems to have pushed them to a point where they feel seeking independence is their only option. For Diddy's daughters, this public unraveling of their family seems to have been the breaking point. Rumors suggest they've been meeting with attorneys to explore the legal steps to emancipate themselves from their father's control. Can you blame them? Imagine being a teenager or young adult with your family's darkest secrets splashed all over the news. Sources close to the family say the daughters are deeply hurt by everything they've seen and heard, not just about their father's alleged actions, but also about how the family has been handled since Kim's passing. The emotional toll seems to have pushed them to a point where they feel seeking independence is their only option.
Yeah, but so there's still, I mean, it's crazy too because there's still more happening in court. Like, I mean, everything is still active even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore. And the people may be fatigued like we talked about.
Let's take a moment to talk about Kim Porter's legacy. Kim was known as a loving and dedicated mother who always put her children first. Those closest to her describe her as kind, warm, and resilient, always striving to see the best in people, even during tough times. Yet, her relationship with Diddy was far from smooth. Insiders report a relationship filled with emotional highs and devastating lows, with Diddy's controlling behavior often leaving Kim feeling trapped. She confided in friends that their arguments could escalate to physical altercations. One particularly shocking claim comes from someone who worked closely with the couple, recalling a night when an argument turned into a full-blown fight, with objects being hurled across the room. Despite the chaos, Kim stood her ground. It's clear that these turbulent moments left lasting scars, not just on Kim, but on her children as well.
Man took the cork, you know where you open up wine? The corkscrew. She took the corkscrew and caught him on his wrist, defending himself. And he almost, I think he had, I know he tore some ligament, but he almost hit an artery or came close to the artery or either scratched it or cut it a little bit because he just kept bleeding.
Fast forward to today, and Kim Porter's name is once again making headlines, this time in connection with a leaked memoir allegedly filled with explosive details about her life with Diddy. While the book's legitimacy has been widely debated, reports suggest it contains claims of mistreatment, manipulation, and even fear for her life. Diddy's legal team has called it a sham, but that hasn't stopped it from becoming a bestseller, reigniting discussions about Kim's life and tragic passing. Here's the kicker. Kim's own children, including Diddy's daughters, have publicly denied the book's authenticity, calling it a hurtful fabrication. However, some fans and conspiracy theorists remain unconvinced, pointing to the timing of the memoir's release and its eerie alignment with other allegations against Diddy. The mystery surrounding Kim's life and death continues to captivate the public.
He gets trafficking because he took her to different states and had her perform acts with different, male and different people, sometimes against.
It's hard not to feel for Diddy's daughters amid all this drama. They've been thrust into the spotlight in a way no one could have prepared them for. On one hand, they're grappling with the loss of their mother and the lingering questions surrounding her passing. On the other, they're watching their father face some of the most serious allegations imaginable. Through it all, they're trying to navigate their own identities and figure out what they stand for. If the rumors about their plans for emancipation are true, it could mark a major turning point, not just for them, but for the entire Combs family. But here's the twist. The story doesn't end with Diddy's daughters allegedly walking away. It only gets messier from here. Let's talk about what's happening now with Diddy's legal battles and the role his sons, Justin and Christian, are reportedly playing in all of this. If you thought the daughters' rumored emancipation was dramatic, wait until you hear about the allegations surrounding the Combs sons. These two have been pulled into the public eye, not just standing by their father, but allegedly playing active roles in some of the most shocking accusations yet. This is the kind of drama that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the Combs family.
Individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and how.
Let's start with Diddy's court appearances. For months, he's been fighting tooth and nail to get out on bail, offering everything from private security to putting up massive assets as collateral, but it hasn't worked. Prosecutors argue Diddy poses a danger to the community and can't be trusted to follow the rules. The evidence they presented is pretty wild. For starters, they claim Diddy has been using three-way calls from prison to contact people he's not supposed to be speaking to by having other inmates let him use their phone accounts, almost like something out of a movie. And it doesn't end there. Allegedly, Diddy has been asking his family to pass along messages to potential witnesses, urging them to stay quiet or change their stories. If true, this behavior explains why the courts continue to deny him bail.
This is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal.
Here's something that hasn't gotten as much attention. Prosecutors allege Diddy isn't just using prison calls to reach witnesses, but also trying to influence public opinion from behind bars. Sources claim Diddy is strategizing with his team to create social media campaigns aimed at swaying potential jurors. Remember those polished birthday videos from his kids? Prosecutors argue they weren't spontaneous at all, but part of a carefully orchestrated PR strategy. Allegedly, Diddy even monitored engagement with these posts, tracking likes and comments to gauge public sentiment. If true, it shows just how far he's willing to go to spin the narrative in his favor. And it gets even more bizarre. There are whispers that Diddy is using code words, not just in phone calls, but in written correspondence as well. Insiders say investigators have flagged certain letters and emails where innocent phrases may carry hidden meanings. For example, a casual mention of recycling might actually refer to destroying evidence, while discussions about family gatherings could hint at meetings meant to coordinate strategies. These claims are still under investigation, but if they hold up, it paints a picture of someone not just fighting for freedom, but also trying to outmaneuver the legal system at every turn. It's a risky game, and so far, it doesn't seem to be paying off.
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution.
Meanwhile, the scale of the investigation is immense. Authorities are reportedly combing through mountains of evidence, including financial records, text messages, and even security footage from Diddy's properties. They've also seized multiple electronic devices, which some believe could contain crucial information. One source close to the case described the process as peeling back the layers of an onion, with each discovery raising even more questions. Some of the evidence is so sensitive that it's being reviewed privately, away from the public eye. If true, this raises the stakes even higher, suggesting we may only be scratching the surface of what's really going on. The investigation is far from over, and it could reveal much more than we know now.
There's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendant, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take up the trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
It gets even more complicated from here. Reports suggest Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, aren't just supportive family members. They are allegedly helping him cover his tracks. A leaked phone call between Diddy and Justin is raising eyebrows, where Diddy reportedly uses coded language, asking Justin to get rid of the leftover pizza boxes. No one believes he's talking about pizza. Insiders claim this phrase refers to evidence that could harm Diddy's case. According to these sources, Justin and Christian have been tasked with cleaning up their father's mess, both literally and figuratively, adding a dangerous layer to the situation.
So it's just another form to silence a man, to humble a person. You know how sometimes you gotta humble somebody?
You're right.
Yeah, I think he's being humbled right now. Which it took a long time. It takes a long time to humble an arrogant person.
Sons risk getting involved in such a messy situation. Some say it's about loyalty, while others believe it's because they've been raised in a world where this kind of behavior is normalized. These are young men who grew up surrounded by luxury and power, watching their father navigate the highs and lows of fame. If the allegations are true, it's possible they've been conditioned to believe that protecting the family name is more important than anything else. And honestly, that's just tragic. Speaking of tragic, the lawsuits against the Combs family are piling up. Diddy isn't the only one facing legal trouble. His sons are also named in some of these cases. For instance, a producer named Rodney Jones has filed a lawsuit claiming he was coerced into participating in activities Diddy is accused of orchestrating. According to Jones, Justin was directly involved in arranging these situations and played a key role in recruiting participants. If these allegations are true, it paints a disturbing picture of a family deeply entrenched in a culture of exploitation, where manipulation and control seem to run deep.
It was all, insecurities. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity. So when you see someone doing that, you can imagine everything else.
Then there's Christian, who's facing his own set of accusations. One lawsuit alleges that he behaved inappropriately toward a woman at an event hosted by his father. The suit claims this wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern of behavior enabled by the toxic environment Diddy allegedly created. Again, these are just allegations, but the fact that both sons are being named in lawsuits alongside their father speaks volumes. It suggests that whatever is happening in this family isn't just about one person, it's systemic. Now, back to Diddy himself. His legal team has been working overtime to suppress evidence and control the narrative. One of their main arguments is that the search warrants used to raid Diddy's homes were unconstitutional. They claim authorities presented a distorted version of reality to obtain the warrants, leaving out key details and relying on questionable sources. Whether or not this argument will hold up in court remains to be seen, but it's clear that Diddy's team is pulling out all the stops to get this evidence thrown out and protect his interests.
Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes.
Yes.
The shopping thing is.
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession.
Even if Diddy's legal team succeeds in suppressing some of the evidence, the damage to his reputation is already done. The media coverage has been brutal, and public opinion is turning against him. It's hard to see how he can come back from this. Between the abuse allegations, the suspicious circumstances surrounding Kim Porter's passing, and now the claims involving his sons, it feels like the walls are closing in. Even some of his most loyal fans are beginning to question whether they can continue to support him. The once untouchable mogul now faces a mounting wave of doubt and scrutiny.
Sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the.
What about the rest of Diddy's family? His mother, Janice Combs, has been notably absent from recent court appearances, a stark contrast to her earlier public shows of support. Insiders say she's devastated by everything that's happening and struggling to reconcile the man she knows as her son with the serious allegations being leveled against him. As for Diddy's youngest daughter, Love, she's too young to fully understand what's going on, but you have to wonder how all of this will affect her as she gets older. Will she grow up hearing the same rumors and allegations that have haunted her older siblings? It's a heartbreaking thought, and the emotional toll on the entire family is undeniable.
That fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching.
Then there's the question of Kim Porter's legacy. As more details about her life and relationship with Diddy come to light, her name is becoming a rallying cry for those seeking justice. Friends and family have begun speaking out, calling for a renewed investigation into her passing and demanding accountability for anyone who may have been involved. Even Kim's ex-husband, Al B. Shore, has joined the movement, using his platform to raise awareness and push for answers. It's clear that Kim's story is far from over, and her memory continues to be a powerful force in this ongoing saga. So where does all of this leave us? Honestly, it feels like we're watching a real-life soap opera unfold in slow motion. Every day brings new revelations, fresh allegations, and more questions. Will Diddy's daughters go through with their plans to emancipate? Will his sons face consequences for their alleged involvement? What about Diddy himself? Can he clear his name? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of the most iconic figures in the music industry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this and other breaking celebrity scandals.